Josie Duggar, the youngest of Jim, Bob, and Michelle's 19 children, has grown up right before our eyes. From being born 3 months premature to becoming the miracle baby of the Duggar family, her journey has always been one of resilience and hope. But now, shocking new whispers suggest that Josie may be stepping into adulthood in ways nobody expected: romance, possible marriage rumors, and family tensions boiling beneath the surface. And according to reports, Jim Bob Duggar isn't exactly thrilled about it. Fans are stunned, and tonight, we're diving deep into the full story. Cut to host on camera. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're breaking down everything you need to know about Josie Duggar's rumored path to marriage, the surprising family drama, Jim Bob's reported anger, and the reactions pouring in from fans across the internet. If you've been following the Duggars for years, you know Josie's story has always been special. She wasn't just the last child in a huge family, she was the miracle baby that many thought might not survive. That's what makes these latest rumors so shocking to longtime followers. Insert photo montage of Jim Bob and Josie over the years. We'll talk about why Jim Bob may be especially protective of his youngest daughter, how the Duggar family's strict courtship rules might play into this, and what this could mean for the family's future. Stick with us, because by the end of this video, you'll see why Josie's journey has fans talking and why her father's reaction is making even bigger headlines. Josie Duggar's story began in a way that was both miraculous and terrifying. Born 3 months premature on December 10, 2009, Josie entered the world at just 1 pound and 6 ounces. Her survival was uncertain, and her early months were filled with medical struggles, hospital visits, and constant prayers from the Duggar family. This fragile start gave her the title of the miracle baby, and fans who watched her on 19 Kids and Counting couldn't help but feel deeply invested in her survival and growth. As the youngest of Jim Bob and Michelle's 19 children, Josie had a very different upbringing compared to her older siblings. By the time she was born, the family was already famous, and her earliest years played out in front of cameras. Unlike her older brothers and sisters, who had experienced simpler childhoods before reality TV fame, Josie grew up entirely under the spotlight. Still, being the youngest meant she was often shielded, cared for, and in many ways, remained the family's baby, even as she got older. On 19 Kids and Counting and later Counting On, Josie often appeared as the quiet but memorable presence. Fans would see her smile, her occasional bursts of personality, and her bond with her siblings. Yet, she was never the focus of storylines the way older Duggar daughters like Jill, Jessa, and Jinga had been. This gave viewers the impression that she was still a child even as the years went on, leading to a fascinating contrast. While siblings married and started families in their early 20s, Josie was still seen as the miracle child who needed protecting. As she entered her teenage years, the shift became impossible to ignore. Fans who once remembered her as the tiny baby fighting for life began to notice her growing up. Social media posts showed her developing her own style, interests, and personality. For many longtime Duggar watchers, it was almost surreal. The little girl they had prayed for was suddenly a teenager. This transition brought mixed emotions, pride in how far she had come, but also shock at how quickly time had passed. As Josie Duggar entered her teenage years, fans began to speculate about her future in ways similar to her older siblings. Rumors started circulating online about potential suitors and possible courtships, even though Josie was still very young compared to when her older sisters began courting. Social media became the breeding ground for these discussions, with fans dissecting every photo, every family outing, and even casual interactions to guess who Josie might be linked to. But to truly understand the weight of these rumors, we need to look at how courtship operates in the Duggar family. Courtship, for them, isn't just casual dating, it's what they often call dating with a purpose. The purpose being marriage. Courtships are carefully monitored, often involving parental oversight, group settings instead of one-on-one dates, and even rules about phone calls and text messages. For Jim Bob, the patriarch, this process has always been about maintaining family values and ensuring his daughters are spiritually aligned with their suitors. That's where the tension rises. Josie isn't just any Duggar daughter. She's the miracle baby, the youngest child, the one Jim Bob and Michelle nearly lost at birth. That history has shaped Jim Bob's view of Josie as someone who needs extra protection, even as she grows older. To him, the thought of Josie stepping into courtship territory so soon is both overwhelming and, perhaps, frightening. Stories from within the family and accounts from fans suggest Jim Bob has always been the most protective when it comes to Josie, often keeping a closer eye on her compared to the older siblings. Fans online are divided. Some argue that Jim Bob is simply being a loving and protective father, especially given Josie's health challenges in her early years. Others believe his reaction borders on controlling, and that Josie deserves the same freedom her older siblings had in navigating love and relationships. Social media has only fueled the debate, with rumors spreading faster than ever. A simple photo of Josie with a family friend can spiral into wild theories about potential courtships, engagements, or even secret weddings. In many ways, the rumors themselves reveal just how invested fans are in Josie's life, and how much Jim Bob's protectiveness is being scrutinized in today's age of online speculation. The news surrounding Josie Duggar's possible journey toward marriage has left fans in a state of mixed emotions. For many, the shock is undeniable. After all, Josie has always been known as the miracle baby, the tiny premature child whose survival was closely followed by millions on 19 kids and counting. Viewers who once watched her fight for life in an incubator now struggle to process the idea that she's old enough to step into adult milestones like courtship and marriage. At the same time, there's an undeniable wave of excitement and curiosity rippling through Duggar watchers. Some wonder if history is repeating itself, with Josie following the same early marriage paths as many of her older siblings. Others are eager to see how she might approach relationships differently, considering the growing number of Duggar children who have taken unique or less traditional routes once they reached adulthood. Of course, criticism has also surfaced, particularly aimed at the Duggar family's strict courtship rules. Online discussions often highlight how quickly Duggar children transition from being perceived as kids to suddenly preparing for marriage, with little room for the normal experiences of young adulthood. Critics argue this reinforces a cycle where family tradition outweighs individual choice. Comparisons to Josie's sisters are inevitable. Jana waited far longer than anyone expected to marry. Jinger broke away from some family traditions after moving to Los Angeles. Jill distanced herself from the Duggar brand altogether, and Joanna followed a more conventional Duggar pattern by marrying young. Fans are already speculating which path Josie might take, whether she'll mirror her sister's journeys or carve her own. Ultimately, Josie's potential courtship or marriage could become a defining moment for the Duggar legacy in the media spotlight. For years, the family's image has been shifting, fractured by scandals, new perspectives, and generational changes. Josie stepping into this stage of life might either reinforce the Duggar brand of early marriages and strict traditions or challenge it, depending on the choices she makes. Either way, fans and critics alike are watching closely, knowing that her next steps could reshape the way the public views not just Josie, but the Duggar family as a whole. As we wrap up, let's quickly revisit the key points. Josie Duggar's story has always been unlike any of her siblings, from being born prematurely and overcoming life-threatening challenges to growing up as the youngest in a household of 19. Fans have watched her transformation from the miracle baby into a young woman finding her place in the world. Now, whispers of marriage have sparked shock, curiosity, and even controversy. Jim Bob's rumored anger adds another layer of tension, showing just how protective he remains over his youngest daughter. And while some fans are excited to see Josie step into adulthood, others are stunned that this chapter may be arriving so soon. At the end of the day, Josie Duggar's journey continues to surprise us all. Whether or not marriage is truly around the corner, one thing is certain: fans will be watching every step of the way. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.